Assalamu alaikum. This is the final video talking about percent yield. So what percent yield is essentially what your actual number would be, and how to figure that out is with two things. First, your actual yield, which would be what you would achieve from your chemical reaction or your experiment, which would be the actual number over your theoretical yield. And your theoretical yield is essentially what you got from your equation. And the difference between these two is the actual yield will be a bit different from your theoretical yield, as this is the actual amount you have obtained from the reaction, unlike what you have obtained from your equation. So now that you have your actual over your theoretical, what you need to do now is multiply this by 100, and you would get your percent yield. But before that, what you need to do is figure out your theoretical yield, which is simple enough. All you need to do is calculate your limiting reagent, and once you have your limiting reagent, look at your access reagent. Your access reagent will be your theoretical yield. So then you will take your theoretical yield and calculate and plug it in to the formula that was just shown. So in this example, so the question is asking if the actual yield is 19.13%, what is the percent yield? What you need to do is relatively simple. You solve your equation. Which would get you your theoretical yield. In this case, it would be 21.44. That goes under, and over it would go your 19.13. And you multiply by 100, and your answer would be 98.3%, which would equal your yield percent. What you should know is that you should never aim for 100, because it's not possible in chemistry. You would never get 100 unless your calculations are wrong, and you just try to avoid 100 and recheck your steps. If you were to get that number, try to aim for 90 or 89, around there. So that is it for all three videos. That's the entire stoichiometry unit. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.